What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of CNR TV. I'm Kurt.
I'm Josh.
And today we're doing it. We are addressing the final chapter.
We made it. It's the last one.
We wish we'd have had more.
Yeah.
But
Always.
c'est la vie. That's what we get on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Short and sweet.
Cinematic quality only affords 6 episodes.
Right.
But anyway, guys, as we always do this, we're going to start off by going over the recap. It's really long because they crammed everything into this episode.
Yeah.
Dotting those I's and crossing those T's.
Yeah.
And so just hang with us and we'll come back after and discuss it.
Oh my god.
给大家乐一个，1、2、3，好。
Wow,
That's a long recap.
that was a long recap, but since it was the final one, we needed to cover everything. So,
General thoughts before we go into any detail. Overall opinion.
Parts of it were rushed, which we kind of already knew that was going to happen.
Right.
And it was a little speechy. I'm just going to leave it at that.
A little preachy.
A little speechy, but
they covered every base that I thought they wouldn't cover. Like the power broker thing, completely not resolved, but
yeah, and we'll get further into that power broker thing. Yeah, exactly. They did a really good job of buttoning it up at the end.
Yeah.
Even though I feel like fleshing out the lead characters' roles a little more at the end.
Yeah.
Other than a side character, I mean they went into more detail of Sharon. I guess they're setting her up to be the big bad in another one.
Right. The characters the main characters are essentially where they were at the start, just with where they should have been.
At personal resolve.
Right.
Like Sam's family issues are solved.
Right.
And Bucky has come to terms with everything.
Right. At the end of Endgame, it's implied, at least to me, that Bucky is cured of being the Winter Soldier.
Right.
And Falcon is Captain America. So then the show is like they reverse that and then go to a resolution by the end.
Yeah.
So
it catch back up to what they...
Yeah.
I agree. So, because this is going to be long, we need to hop into the questions real quick. So, my first question is it over? Is this finale?
It's supposed to be.
Finn?
It did not necessarily feel that way.
They left a lot open to continue the story.
Yes. WandaVision was a very definite ending. This felt like there could be an episode 7.
Right. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Did it feel rushed to you?
The first half felt way rushed. I have a big note about the way they filmed the action scenes, and I could not follow what was going on.
Yeah, there were times I
was like, what is Carly's plot? I was completely lost.
They never fleshed out the whole plot. I guess it was to get the hostages and then use them as a bargaining chip.
I stop the vote, and then that turned into they have this elaborate plan to kidnap them. They kidnap some of them in a truck, and then some of them in a helicopter.
Right.
And I was just like, what's going on? What is her end game?
Yeah, I guess the really important ones were on the helicopter,
I
and
guess.
the other ones were, I get. And when you have to think this much into it, then they missed the point. They missed the mark.
Lost in translation.
But yeah, it was rushed, and I'll reiterate again, the closing of Sam and Bucky's stories were really quick, really fast.
Yes.
How did Sharon get from Madripoor so fast?
I don't know.
It was like time travel. I mean,
I know they talked about doing reshoots. I feel like her being the power broker was the biggest reshoot.
You think
it
so?
It had to be.
You don't think that's the way they were going to go initially?
No. And I took a note. In episode 4, I think it was, Zemo said he knew the power broker before Civil War.
Right.
When she was still Agent 13.
Right.
And he called him a heathen.
That's it.
Like, I was just like, that's setting up the character
and
for a huge...
if Zemo knew the power broker, then he would have known that Sharon was the power broker when they were in Madripoor.
Exactly.
So yeah,
that seemed like a rewrite.
It probably was. I know they had a lot of issues on filming this one because of, the COVID and whatever.
Well, apparently the show, and I keep seeing leaks about this, was going to have some kind of virus subplot.
Yes.
The leak was saying that GRC?
Yeah.
Yeah, was going to have some kind of viral warfare against the Flag Smashers, and that's why they were stealing the vaccine in the first 2 episodes.
Okay.
So maybe this is all just a big rewrite cluster.
Yeah, got you.
Fix all that.
Got you. My next one was Sam's suit. What'd you think of it?
It was awesome. That was straight out of the comics.
Yeah, that was really. They did a really good job of matching it up.
Yeah. It is a little weird the way it comes up and his ears are out.
Yeah, but that's the way it was in the comics.
Right.
So, I mean...
It just looks... The top of it looks a little silly.
Yeah, it does until you can relate to what they were trying to do.
Right.
So you would have to have been a fan of the comics. Because most people probably who aren't look at that and they're like, well, that's kind of silly.
But it also works. I liked it overall.
I have to admit I was wrong. Because I had said last week that I didn't think that he would get the wings back. That it would just be a Captain America suit.
Right.
And
he actually used the wings a good bit, too.
Oh, man, he used the crap out of the wings.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
The design where the shield fits over the back, and then he got Red Wing back.
Yes,
several Red Wings, yeah.
When he threw it out the window after he fought Batroc and leaped out with the wings and grabbed it.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, that was fantastic. The Captain America or Sam's choreography was really, really good stuff,
yes,
man.
They did excellent.
I also got another thing wrong. I had said last week that I thought there was going to be a 3-way fight. And...
Kinda?
Well,
really, I guess.
Okay, the way that I had seen it happening was you're going to have the Flag Smashers, you're going to have John and whoever he represented, and then you're going to have Sam and Bucky.
Right.
And
they're all fighting each other.
Yeah, but John joined them in fighting the Flag Smashers. Right. So I got that one a little
Power
wrong.
Broker, too. I was like, oh, that's the third party, but she's on
and then
their side. Yeah.
That was my other thing is I had said something about Sharon being the power broker, but John's shield.
Oh man!
I even threw a little laugh in there on the recap because it took like 3 punches and it was done, man.
Which I said last week. Like, there's no way it's not made out of vibranium.
Anything you can fight a super soldier with.
Exactly.
Right? Exactly.
She even punches it the first time you can see it dent.
Yeah, it dents.
And she just kicks it out of the way when he throws it.
And I think you had alluded to this last week, or you and I were talking at another time, and you said something about how the civilians are fighting like military trained men.
Oh, yeah.
And both of them have the super serum.
Mm-hmm.
How was Carly able to kick John's ass so easily?
Right.
It just doesn't make sense because he's like supposed to be top tier special forces.
He was picked to be Captain America, like from the military, which means he's top tier.
some chick from the streets.
Some girl that looks like she's 13 years old.
I mean, they didn't tell a backstory that she studied with a shaman for 30 years,
Right.
you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
One of those, you got to make it work for TV things.
This next point is, to me, it was crazy how Carly went from the darkest we've seen her so far. Mm-hmm. Like, she went from darkest villain to, I'm sorry. And in Sam's lab, immediately, I'm wrong. I was wrong because I've been shot.
But she was saying she was prepared to die the whole time.
Right.
Yeah.
But then she's like, I'm sorry. And I said, we're all sorry when we're lying in someone's lap dying.
Right.
So
that was a note I took. Like, they doubled down on we're supposed to feel something for this character. In my eyes, she's just as evil as Thanos.
Exactly. I mean, even in Sam's speech, he referenced that, so it's like.
But he don't call them terrorists. That's what they are.
Yeah, they blew up buildings
for
their cause.
Gain.
Yeah, for their cause.
That's the definition of terrorism.
Well, that's.
Yeah.
It is what it is. John is the U.S. agent.
Yes.
I finally got a prediction right.
Yeah.
I wasn't
very comic accurate costume, which it already was. Just the colors were wrong.
So right, but now it's dead on, and they actually refer to him as U.S. agent.
Yes.
So
I'm a little surprised by that.
We'll see him again.
Again?
Yeah. So when I said while we were watching the recap that I had a point about that whole interaction with John coming in.
Yes, you had a problem with it.
Because it was just like, all is forgiven. You didn't just chop some dude's head off with your shield.
Yes, I had the same thought.
And everybody's attaboy at the end of this to John, and I was like, really?
Yeah, he murdered someone, had a mental break, and then fought Sam and Bucky, got his ass beat.
Yeah.
And then he just comes in and is somehow on the side of righteousness and good again.
Yeah,
which I'm glad he's a good character, but at the same time he's morally gray, I guess.
He can easily flip to that dark side.
An unearned redemption.
Yes,
so far.
Unearned redemption. Not quite as unearned as Sharon's, but what are you gonna do? So my last point was at the very end of the show. They splash up Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Haven't we already seen that movie?
Right.
So I was like, poor Bucky. Good Lord. He goes through all this and he's still the Winter Soldier?
I know.
Come on, cut the guy a break,
he's
dude.
Fixed.
It should have been Captain America and the White Wolf. That's what the next movie should be.
Yeah, I could see that.
So it gives Bucky a chance to shed that moniker of the, because the Winter Soldier does not redeem anything.
Right, no.
I mean, he was a mass murderer.
Right.
So
Manchurian Candidate.
That was my last point. So now it's on to your questions.
Right, let's see. I don't have a ton. We covered most of them. First note was the editing and the battles. Like, they used the shaky cam.
Oh, yeah.
Way too much.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was just like, what's going on? Because every kick or punch, it was like the camera was shaking. That is cool to a degree, but it was overused.
Yeah, know how much to use of it.
Yeah. We already covered. I was asking what was Carly's plan, other
right?
than just kidnapping the people. And that was something else too. They had the helicopter with the the senators or whoever, the congresspeople on it.
Yeah.
The Falcon was trying to stop, and then I looked away for about 2 seconds and looked back, and there's a second helicopter that he somehow brings down.
It was an NYPD helicopter that was chasing them, but it was it was on screen for 2 seconds.
Well, and I didn't see it on screen, and then he makes it crash. It bounces off his wings and shield into the ocean. And I'm like, what? That had the refugees on it, or not refugees?
No. Sorry, I'm smoking. No, what happened was he got knocked off into a cargo ship,
Right.
and got knocked underwater, and then the flag smasher who's flying that helicopter cut up and made them bank, and that's what made them crash.
Okay.
So it was actually the flag smasher's helicopter, or the one with the Congress people in it.
Okay, that makes way more sense.
Then he comes shooting up out of the water.
Right, I saw that part.
And he went and rescued the two pilots from the NYPD helicopter.
Okay.
So.
Okay, that makes way more sense.
Okay.
I took a note.
Like I said, there's a benefit to doing the recap because I watch it several times.
Right. John tries to save the truck. That was kind of his redemption moment. Because he had the opportunity to kill Carly, and he chose to save the people in the truck.
Right.
And that's when I was like, okay, that character might have a little something going on.
And it seemed like he was having a conflict of value or virtue,
Yeah.
because it was like he was trying to shake off the I'm insane and got to kill this girl.
Right.
And
right.
he comes back to, well, my job is to protect.
Let's see. U.S. agent in the end. We know that, what is her name? Elaine from Seinfeld?
Valentina.
Valentina, thank you. She's Madam Hydra.
Right, Madam Hydra.
So is U.S. agent working for Hydra? Is she a separate entity from her comic version? And she's actually, I keep saying online that she's a morally gray Nick Fury, or less morally gray, or more morally gray.
Because she seems to be using him for the U.S. interests.
Yeah.
But on a darker note, So I don't know if she's trying to bring down the U.S. government somehow,
right.
or what
her
her end game is.
Apparently, this is a maybe spoiler leak. She apparently appears in the Black Widow movie.
I've heard that as well.
Yeah. So that should have already come out.
But the Black Widow movie takes place prior to this.
Right.
So yeah,
I think if it came out on time, we would have had a lot more.
So we'll learn what her goals are,
right.
most likely, or more of it in the Black Widow. I cannot wait for that movie to come out. Man, we wouldn't wait.
Pushing it back. It was supposed to be next month. I think they changed it.
Yeah.
We'll see. Kind of a question for the comments. End credit scene. Where do you think it's going?
So okay, this is another thing you and I discussed. It was about Sharon being a Skrull, right?
Yeah, right. I was way off base.
Now, but here's the thing: is she still could be.
Yeah.
At this point, especially since she's really turned dark, and I mean, Sharon is. I don't know how to verbalize this, but the Sharon that we've seen in the past was good and had a moral path.
Right.
So this could be a bad Skrull because Sharon could be up with Nick.
Yeah.
So that's a question that's still left unanswered. Right. If it's Sharon, then that's crazy that she's gone that.
Yeah. Do you think it would be a movie villain at that point? Do you think she'll show up in another series? I don't know if she's a big enough villain to be anything else.
She may be a side character villain in a movie, but she won't be the main big bad.
A theory I saw was, they have that new show Armor Wars coming out, like fighting over Tony Stark's armor.
Right.
She would have access to that as the power broker now.
Oh.
So maybe she'll tie into that show somehow.
Maybe so.
That would be interesting. So, question for you and the comments also. What did you like more, Falcon and Winter Soldier or WandaVision?
I'm going to say that I like the Falcon and Winter Soldier more.
Okay.
I think the fact that WandaVision just focused on two characters. The main Wanda and Vision.
You also set up Agatha.
Huh?
You set up Agatha.
You set up Agatha, but she was such a side character till the very end.
Right.
Whereas in Falcon and Winter Soldier, they've been telling all these different stories that all had to, come together at the end.
Right.
And it did set up the ability, or I guess the repercussions from that was having to feel rushed.
Right.
Because you got to get all these stories
and
tell them. So, but I do enjoy that type of storytelling. And WandaVision, it was a really slow start.
Yeah.
And then very little additional character development.
That's true.
And so that's why.
Yeah. I think I like WandaVision more, but for my own speculation.
Yeah, because you got some theories,
Mephisto.
right? Mephisto.
But even though that didn't pan out.
You didn't show up this time.
Yeah. So yeah, I did very much enjoy this show though.
Well,
and I think got confirmation that Loki's also going to only be 6 episodes.
Well, that's
kind of a shame, but
like we said at the beginning, it's the price you pay for cinematic quality series.
Yeah.
So in closing, where does this go? Where does Sam and Bucky go? Are they going to show up in other movies or the shows, or
maybe some shows?
Maybe on down the road.
Yeah, I mean they're not doing an Avengers movie this time around, or this phase. So maybe the next one, if they don't show up in a TV show, that's
an additional season of
that
said TV show.
That could be. That could be.
And maybe that splash at the end, the Captain America and Winter Soldier. Maybe that's what it's going to be on.
That is a very good
forward.
point. That could be a very easy setup for season 2. Just change the name.
All right, I guess only time will tell, guys. But if you've stuck around to this point, you're awesome.
Yes, thank you.
So,
thank you.
Please engage, like, comment, subscribe. Tell us if there's something you'd like us to review, and we'll get on it.
Give us your opinions on what you think about our own thoughts. Break us down.
Yeah, man. Tell us how many ways we're wrong. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys coming along and moving forward until Loki comes out, which will be June 11th. We're going to be doing some challenge videos, so stick around if you'd like to see this guy get a pie in the face.
Yeah.
All right.
Dad joke challenge.
Dad joke. Next video, dad joke challenge.
That's right.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming along.
See ya.
We'll catch you on the next video.